Hello, and welcome to my staff training regarding the prompt hierarchy. To begin, let us first redefine what a prompt is. A prompt is an action or stimuli provided by an instructor that increases the likelihood that a learner will make a correct response. Prompts are crucial to effective skill acquisition for all populations, not just learners with developmental delay. Furthermore, when fitted systematically, prompts can be slowly removed, allowing learners to independently demonstrate the skill. Prompts can take place in any setting and can be administered through a variety of applications. These applications can be broken down into 6 primary prompting types and include visual, verbal, gestural, modeling, partial physical, and full physical. However, these prompting applications have been studied and analyzed to reveal that some consistently provide greater assistance than others. We refer to these prompts as being the most intrusive, as they prevent the learner from being able to answer independently, and prompts that allow students to answer with some or more independence as less intrusive. Throughout this presentation, we'll be seeing a lot of different instructions explained. Instructions are very frequently considered a discriminative stimulus, a term you are learning and hearing a lot about right now. So I've gone ahead and labeled all the instructions as SDs to help you familiarize with that term. These prompts are now going to be defined in their order from their least to the most intrusive. First are visual prompts, which are the least intrusive and essentially utilized to model the desired behavior. For example, when teaching a student how to clap, showing the learner a picture of someone else clapping would be considered a visual prompt. Next are going to be verbal prompts. These are provided in the form of an auditory cue. This can include making the starting sound of the correct answer, repeating the direction, or imitating the correct answer altogether. An example of a verbal prompt is when teaching Uno to a child. You look dramatically at the child who has just gone down to one card and make the noise ooh, increasing the likelihood of them saying Uno themselves so they experience the good side of the game first. Next are going to be gestural prompts. These are provided by pointing to, nodding, or otherwise providing a physical cue as the correct answer. This could include gesturing to stimuli or material related to programming or miscellaneous cues in a natural environment. When construction has shut down one lane of a two-way street, the worker directing traffic will flip his sign providing the instruction to go, but will also provide the gesture with his arm to go. This movement is an example of a gestural prompt. Next on the list are modeling prompts, and these are provided when an instruction is provided and then the desired behavior is demonstrated, allowing the learner to imitate. Modeling prompts are most commonly observed in sport instruction and coaching, demonstrating fine and gross motor skills to learners. An example an adult we would commonly see would be like in a yoga class where an instructor is naming the next pose and then transitions into the pose themselves as the students follow the instruction and look to the instructor for guidance as needed. Next, we're starting to get to our more intrusive style of prompts. This is partial physical prompting, is one of the most intrusive and takes place when an instructor has to make contact with the learner, help them manipulate, and select or demonstrate the desired behavior. An example of this would be when walking through a large crowd, shouting the instruction, "Excuse me," while also nudging those who seem to possibly be hard of hearing. Finally, and most intrusively, are physical prompts. Full physical prompts. These are very similar to partial physical prompts. However, the difference is that full physical prompts involve the instructor manipulating the learner's hands to make the right movements rather than just simply nudging or touching. This physical manipulation of the learners to complete the desired behavior is commonly referred to as hand-over-hand prompting because of how you are literally going to be working hand over hand, manipulating their hands to complete the steps. This is commonly observed in early learning, especially for gross motor tasks. A very common one is when teaching a child how to swing a bat, physically placing their hands on the bat and holding your hands over theirs and completing the swinging motion with their arms under yours, completing the action simultaneously with you. Now we know which type of prompts are most or least intrusive and how they relate to one another. However, their application will still change dependent on the learner and program type. This prompt hierarchy is applied in one of two ways: least to most and most to least. Most to least prompting begins with full physical prompting and eventually fades to the less intrusive prompting and eventual independence. Most to least is preferred and utilized more frequently when teaching brand new behaviors to learners with low rates of skill acquisition. Providing full physical prompts immediately allows for a reinforceable moment to learn from, rather than an undesired response that requires correction and further separates the SD from the behavior in subsequent reinforcement. On the other side, least to most entails providing the least intrusive prompt necessary to accurately display the skill, and more intrusive prompts can be utilized once the less intrusive prompts fail to initiate the desired behavior. Whether one should be utilizing a least to most or a most to least is a decision that is left to a supervisor or BCBA and will be specific for different programs and objectives, even within the same student. However, it is important to understand why one prompting schedule is being utilized over the other. Whether the program at hand calls for least to most or most to least prompting, this hierarchy provides a direct guide on which prompt should be utilized after one another. Thank you for joining me today. If you'd like to have any questions, please, if you have any questions you'd like to direct me, please contact me. I'm happy to help define and explain anything else further. Thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to working with you more. Thank you. Bye.